Hello, and welcome to another episode of Phil and Adam at the Tubies. This week, we'll be discussing But I'm a Cheerleader from the year 2000. But I'm a Cheerleader was directed by Jamie Babbitt. It was written by Brian Wagner Peterson. It stars Natasha Lyonne, Clea Duvall, and RuPaul. It was a budget of $1 million and it grossed 2.6 million at the box office. Grab your bowl of popcorn and get your sweatpants on as we enjoy a movie from the comfort of our own homes with regular ad breaks, of course. We tonight dare to beg the question, is this to be or not to be? And I think before we start, I want to open up with anything that we have to talk about this week. I know I certainly have something I want to open with. Adam, I'm sure you know we've been trying to get a Tubi sponsorship. We started last week.
Yeah, trying to get that Tubi money.
Trying to get the Tubi money, and
Yeah, buddy.
this is me reaching out to John Tubi. And I just want to say it's really easy to look down on people when you are live in such a high castle, but I think you should get a little more humility. You know, we got your cease and desist letter.
Punk ass move.
And I just have to say, I hope life is going really well for you and your family down there at 125 Tubi Drive, Anaheim, California. That's what I have to say. That's what I have to say.
Count your days, John Tubi.
Count your days, John Tubi. We know where you fucking live.
I'm gonna say this movie was a Tubi.
This movie was indeed a Tubi.
A Tubi.
Definite Tubi. A thinker, more of a one that elicits more out of you than the previous ones with the two we watched. It's a bit more focused, and it's definitely talking about something.
Would you like to tell us what it was talking about?
This film is about a high school senior whose parents believe her to be gay, and so they send her to a conversion therapy camp. A very interesting creative decision to make this movie a comedy. I didn't know it was about a conversion camp. I knew it had something to do with like coming of age and confronting, you know, LGBT themes. I did not know it was about a conversion camp. I was very, very shocked to see that. And I'm not saying because it's a comedy they didn't handle it with deft or tact.
They did handle it well. I thought the movie had a really great sense of humor. I thought the jokes were really funny. I thought the characters were really interesting and very unique, very their own. You know, the movie was really interesting in the beginning because it starts off with our main character, Megan, who is the cheerleader, unaware of her reserved homosexuality.
She has a boyfriend. She very obviously does not enjoy being with him. She doesn't consider being gay. She's not does not cross her mind. I think subconsciously, like when she's making out with him and she's having images of the cheerleaders go through her mind, like she kind of says, like, doesn't everyone experience that? Doesn't everyone not enjoy making out with their boyfriend that much? Doesn't everyone look at other girls that way? Like to her, there is this air of normalcy about it, which I mean, of course, there is an air of normalcy about it. It's so scandalized by everyone else that she can't wrap her head. She's not gay. Why would she be gay?
In this sort of Christian middle America family that looks like it's placed in the 70s, and there's an intervention that she comes home one day that her boyfriend drives her home from school, and all of her friends and family meet her in her living room
To confront her being gay.
to confront her being gay.
And I don't think her hiding was anything she actually intended to do. I think she was just like, I'm a good Christian girl. Obviously, I like men. Obviously, I'm going to get married. Like, obviously. And I just have these other thoughts, but doesn't everyone have those thoughts? It's like there's an innocence to it that comes with being 17, you know?
Sort of the tagline of the movie, but I'm a cheerleader, as though it's supposed to come with a heteronormative idea about her sexuality and her identity.
Yeah, I mean, and the director has gone on to say like the reason she made her a cheerleader is that that's normal a high school girl can be. Is like if she's a cheerleader, then she's just a stock standard teenage girl. Like the whole reason they have this focus on conversion is it seems like they want to set these people up to engage in a normal nuclear family relationship. That it is not, we don't want you to be gay. It's that we just really, really, really want you to be straight and get married and have kids, and activities they engage in to affirm their gender roles in a heterosexual relationship, right? The men, they work on cars, they do woodworking, they play sports, they engage in like work, they like pretend to be soldiers in a battlefield. All the women get to do is clean and change fake baby diapers. That's like all they do is they clean floors, they clean dishes, and they change babies. They are just preparing to be mothers and wives, whereas the boys are, they have all these fantastical things they have to do and get to know. This idea of heterosexual normativity is also based in misogyny, you know? They kept thinking about that throughout the movie, is how much this idea of being heterosexual is also at the same time forcing women to be very small and this one specific thing in the home, this one thing. They are one thing, which I think says a lot without actually saying, like, the movie does not in your face saying a lot with its politics. But I mean, it just kept, for me, just kept bringing up all these things. It's like, wow, like this is this view, this is this view, and that was one of the things for me is the way that this focus on heterosexual normativity plays into misogyny.
I did notice that. And something I wanted to say to kind of piggyback off of that is how in the beginning of the movie, the set dressing or the aesthetic of it was kind of, it felt like you were in the 1970s. It's very drab, it's very Brady Bunch. And go, as you move to the scenes with the conversion camp, it looks like you go back in time, like you go back to the 50s or to the like idealized romantic version of the 1950s. I don't know how to explain the aesthetic other than if you watched Cat in the Hat, or this kind of absurd if you've seen the music video for Black Hole Sun.
Yeah, well, the 50s fifties Americana fetishization. All right, I also have to, just as an aside, I have to say, costume set, art direction, all of it, so fantastic. Wow.
Very good.
Very good. The everything in the conversion camp was fake. Everything. Their flowers were made of plastic. The axe that the boys are using to chop wood is fake. It's not real. It's not a real metal axe. Like, everything is a falsehood. Everything that, like, the suits that the boys wear at the very end during their fake kind of ceremony are made of plastic. Everything is fake, and I think that's just kind of fun to give a fundamental byline to, like, this forced idea of heteronormativity is based on falsehood and lies. That it's not all peachy keen. Like, the clothing they wear is cheap and made of plastic. It's supposed to look nice, but it's not real. Everything, the even the like the dishes they're washing in their fake simulated home are like all like plastic cheap cups. Like, they're not real. I thought that was an interesting look to it. But, like, there's nothing of actual substance in this conversion camp. Everything is so false. Even the objects they're holding are fake. There's nothing behind that ideology of substance.
And they almost placate to their parents and to society's idea of who they are told they ought to be.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, right? Is that's what they're trying to go to the societal norm. But, there's nothing. It's so fake. It's so false. It doesn't mean anything. Another thing I want to say about the conversion camp and its ideas, there's this focus on the nuclear family. You get a husband, you have children, you take care of the home. But what they really go into a lot is focusing on heterosexual sex, and they describe it a lot. And this this caretaker of this camp is just keeps saying a man penetrates a woman and goes in and out and pulls out and just drops his load, and they keep calling the gay people perverts for like just being in love or wanting each other, and they call them perverts so often, and then they said at the same time they're turning around and they're saying to these teenagers, they're just so obsessed with sex to them. They just keep talking about sex, and they call the gay people perverts. There's one point in the movie toward the end where they say you have to pass the simulation and then you can graduate. And the simulation is having the children engage in simulated sex in front of the head of the camp. And that's so just disgusting. Don't you think? That's so disgusting. That's perverted to me.
In that it's not romantic, it's all mechanical, it's all pragmatic.
More than that, it's just like, why are you obsessed with talking about penetration to children? Why are you obsessed with having them lay in front of you in skin tight bodysuits and dry hump each other to show, yes, yes, I want to have this kind of sex? Why are you so obsessed with having them do that? That's perverted. That's fucking perverted.
And they're also clearly repulsed by having
They're
to
all
do it.
so, yeah, ew, ew, yeah, because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Even if you were straight, that'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's strange. It's strange to have them do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I find it a little bit more difficult to talk this week than we have previous weeks because this movie is a comedy and it's kind of is lighthearted, but the substance that it deals with at the end of the day is actually not lighthearted at all. That there is a lot of depth and a lot of politics going on here. That I don't want this to be a dissertation of the plight of the LGBT in America today. Not that I have anything wrong with doing that, but this movie very deftly and very succinctly gets its message across. But when you inspect what it's talking about, it's actually, I mean, it makes me sick to my stomach to think about, and that's why I said earlier, like, thank God almost that this was a comedy that it's about teenagers going to conversion camp.
Over the course of the movie, you see Megan slowly start to break apart her idea and her identity and become who she really is. There's a nice scene where Megan, the cheerleader, the blonde cheerleader, and Graham, the uh, rebellious girl played by Clea Duvall, are sitting down and they're having a conversation. And she says, "Cheers make people happy." And she says, Graham, Clea's character, says, "Cheers make people flip. Orgasms make people feel good, make people happy." I thought that was really interesting. That it's not this like false sense of enthusiasm about who you think you should be or who you think you need to placate to, but that it really is this deeper feeling of emotions and sensations.
The truth, like how you feel and confronting it. It's difficult because like I said, like attacking the subject material of this movie, it's a very depressing and very sad subject material.
But it's handled in such a comedic manner, like the way that Megan, when she's not only confronted by her family, but then she is in the first group therapy session, where she admits to the group that says, "I'm a homo," and then she starts dribbling out of her mouth, and
Oh, she's crying so hard she's drooling. I laughed a bit at that. She's crying so much she's drooling.
no one really consoles her. They all just kind of like roll their eyes and walk out of the room, and she's just like, it's not this very convincing crying. It's not this very like compelling, like you're looking at her like, oh my god. It's this very like sappy kind of like comedic crying where she's, it's odd. I found it funny, but it's like campy.
I mean, I gotta also like say like the funniest decision this film made is fucking casting RuPaul in as Mike, as kind of like the teacher of the men, teaching them how to be straight is fucking RuPaul.
At the
Hilarious.
beginning of the beginning when he's first introduced to Megan, he's like, I was a gay once, not
Yeah,
anymore.
not anymore. She's wearing the shirt. Straight is great.
and everyone's turned on by Mary's
A
son,
rock.
Rock, and he's just in like skimpy clothing trying to turn on all the boys.
I mean, isn't that too a really great metaphor? Because the head of the conversion camp's own son is very, very outwardly gay, and she never notices it. Or maybe she does and she ignores it, right? Where she has all these focus on other people's lives and all these other people's families, all these other people's children, but she's either wishfully ignorant or whatever to the fact that her own adult son is gay.
She knows. She knows because in the beginning of the movie, when you first it's like nighttime, and she's like planting the shitty plastic flowers in the garden, and Rock comes out, stops sipping, chug like a man, throws the straw away.
So why isn't she shocking her? So they literally give these children like cattle prod like devices, and they say, when you have a thought about the same sex, shock yourself. Do you think she's shocking her own son? Do you think she's putting him through this kind of behavior? Do you think she's putting him to this camp? No, because that's her son. She can't because what this is ultimately evil. Is ultimately to send children away to a fucking camp and deny them their identities and not deny them, not deny them their identity, actively bemoan, actively demonize, actively treat them like social pariahs to their, it's abusive and it's disgusting. It's horrible. And she's unwilling to do it to her own son. What a great metaphor for the fact that she actually doesn't give a shit about the creation and promotion of the nuclear family. She doesn't give a shit about creating children that can go on to lead normal lives. What she wants to do is to sit in a plastic playhouse and tell everyone else what to do and go on and on and on and on and on and on about her own obsession with heteronormative sex, and then like basically be queen of her own castle, be queen of her own straight fucking castle. She doesn't want to put her son through that pain. She knows it's pain.
And all of the adults, all of the people that are less than empathetic toward encouraging their children's all the parents of of these children, they're not, they're trying to combat their own traditional values, and their, the Graham's parents drop the F word and they storm out during like a group family therapy.
For I really want to pause here. That moment struck me so. That moment made me feel something. That moment made me feel where it's all the parents sitting around and they're basically having a debrief for how their treatment quote unquote is going, and he uses that word twice. And in a movie about conversion therapy, I'm very shocked that that word is only said twice, and it is said with such vitriol and anger. And when that word came out, it hurt me. It hurt my feelings, and it's so simple. You're getting this sense of this conversion camp, though it is a place where their identity is being denied and they are being tried to be made into something else. It is also functioning as sort of a group of commonality and comfort, where when Mary is not around, when Mike is not around, it is six gay teenagers hanging out and straight people aren't around. So I guess it can become, a place of comfort. And then when he's called that word, it's not played for laughs because it is a comedy. It's not, but it was so powerful because like you're not getting the other end of this where like in the outside world there's genuine fucking hatred, there's genuine like fucking like violence happening, and that is just so simply like for I don't know if you felt all that from that, but I know I heard that him say that and my feelings got hurt. I felt bad. Like I was being called that.
I think the realest, sincerest moments were when the kids were alone, and they, for example, the night that they snuck out to go to the gay club,
The cocksuckers.
sucker,
Yeah,
and they play this really nice house song from 1999. And
you love that song.
I do love that song.
He sent it to me separately. He loved it so much. And that video that goes with it, it's so nice. The fireworks and everything. Saint Etienne, the city or something. Fans of the pod can go to the Twitter account at the Tubies, so it's at the Tubies, and I posted the link earlier for anyone who is interested in listening to the song.
we're in the city, Saint Etienne. Etienne. I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's the end.
But you get these real intimate moments, or when Graham and Megan run away in the middle of the night to make out with each other. This is a very real moment. The music swells. It's not this fake, false, comical air in the movie. It really gives you a real departure from the comical air in the movie, which is nice.
I did not like it when they used that word, the F word. That was not. But I didn't like it in the sense that they shouldn't have used it. I didn't like it. Like I didn't. It affected me. It affected me when they were outside and they were making out. It did because it's young teenage love. It's so like they're so like shy and they look like they feel uncomfortable because they're just so like
Something about the first like three girls that you meet. You meet like Megan, who's underlying gay tendencies and she's unaware of it. You meet Graham, who is aware of who she is and must simply play a part in order to make it through the conversion camp to the other end so she doesn't get caught. And then you have Hillary. Who's Hillary played by?
Monica Lewinsky. Is that the Australian one?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Monica Lewinsky. Who is she? Australian? She's not Australian, right? You've seen her in other things.
I have seen her in other things.
She's not Australian. Why did that was one? Why did they have to give her an Australian accent?
Melanie Linsky.
Melanie Lewinsky. Yeah. Why did they make her Australian? Like that didn't matter at all. I don't know. That's just. I don't know why they. I just that's just I'm thinking. I
Maybe because she goes down under.
just.
Megan is the girl who is on two sides. She's on the fence. Graham Graham is on the other side of the fence and aware that she must placate toward everyone else. And Melanie is the good cadet. She's described by Mary as the good cadet, where she's clearly trying very hard and actually drinking the Kool-Aid to buy into the program, which I thought was a very interesting dynamic between the three. There are a bunch of other characters in the movie, but I just thought their differences were very interesting.
For a movie about a teenage conversion therapy camp, there is not a lot of hatred, or bigotry, or vitriol being thrown around. And I understand this is a specific creative decision because why does every movie about gay people or LGBT themes, why does it have to be a effort of trauma? Why do we need to have all these movies be like that's their punctuating mark, right? That the life of being gay is actually pain because of the lack of acceptance and violence that is focused on LGBT members of society. This movie does not portray any of that. It just, like as we've been saying, it's a comedy. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have to portray those themes for the exact reason. Like it doesn't. Why does every movie about this need to be like that? That's true. The movie has two instances of those kinds of pain or that kind of stuff happening. We already mentioned one about the families being there and then the slurs thrown around. But there's also when they go to the rival camp, which isn't actually a rival camp. It's just two of the graduates of Mary's camp lived their lives, rejected all of it, and just set up a camp nearby to help children who escape from the conversion camp. That's their whole point. And how fucked is it that that has to exist? But the Mary takes the kids to picket the other camp, to picket them, to go out there and spew hatred and and vitriol to them. And it's kind of funny. Like it's funny. The signs are all so over the top. It's funny. I mean, what goes to show, right, that they're not teaching these kids, Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. They're teaching them hatred. They're not saying don't be gay. They're saying don't. They're saying hate being gay, hate gay people, hate gay things, because that's like it's what God. They keep saying it's what God wants. It's what God wants. God says marriage is between a man and a woman. God, God, God. Christian, Christian, Christian. Really, fundamentally, it is an act of hatred, confusion, and fear to say you have to not be that thing. You have to be this other thing. This psychology behind sending a child to a conversion camp is hatred. It's disgusting. And as we keep talking about this movie, I'm just so shocked at how funny they were able to make it, man. They're just so it didn't make me feel like fear and the stakes of what's actually at play.
It did soften the blow.
It softened the blow. It softened the blow.
Like how Mike walks outside and Rock is like pulling on a chainsaw, and you see Mike, played by RuPaul, like double taking.
Everybody in this movie is gay. It's so funny. Everybody in this movie is gay. And they're all just standing around looking at each other saying, we can't be gay. And it feels so pointless. It feels so pointless. Everybody's gay. Every single is Mary gay? You think Mary's gay?
Mary might be gay.
Mary might. So why are they all standing around looking at each other saying we can't be gay? I don't get it. It just the whole concept, this whole thing of what's going on, it feels so fucking stupid. No, I just said it. It's because of hatred and ignorance and fear. But it seems so silly. Because also, I guess the movie makes it seem silly.
And religious fundamentalism that
Yeah, I mean the political tensions of 2000 is one thing. Now, 25 years later, I mean this landscape of this very specific thing so much more intense.
something very interesting. I don't know if you know this. Clea Duvall is openly gay,
Yeah,
but she didn't come out till openly gay until 2016.
like do we deserve to know? Do we have to know as the viewing audience at home? Like with these famous people, do they have to come out? You know,
No,
no, no, not
they
at
don't know
all,
us anything.
not at all. I mean, 2016 really
2016.
for her first feature debut is this movie, dude. And isn't that kind of a, maybe she felt uncomfortable coming out because of societal pressures, and we have this movie here where she's a young gay teen experiencing societal pressures. I want to ask you about something. I want your opinion on this.
Yeah,
You see what the film was rated?
R.
Why? Why is this rated R?
The F word.
It said it twice. It makes no sense.
There's no nudity in the movie.
So I actually looked it up, and the director also does not know. The original cut of this film, they wanted to make NC-17, and they had to edit it to make it R. This is PG-13 at best, this movie. There's a couple curse words. There's two scenes of a same-sex couple making out fully clothed, non-sexually. Why the fuck is this movie rated R, dude? I mean, there's you can say why, probably because the MPAA is over policing a movie with heavily LGBT themes, and like they're pushing. Isn't that crazy? This is rated R
Because of the subject matter.
because of the subject matter. But what? But like, it's not like this is not an adult film. This is not a mature film. This is not a like you don't like. I don't understand it, and I think it's again because like the MPAA is over policing. It is unjustifiably giving this too high of a rating because they want people not to see it for whatever reason. Because the MPAA is literally like historically speaking been a very white Christian conservative leaning ratings board where violence is considered less harsh than sex or less harsh than the discussion of these kinds of themes. I can't understand why this is rated R.
I can't either, other than exactly what we.
They're homophobic.
Yeah,
Isn't that something? I think that's disgusting. They put RuPaul in the movie and they say we got to rate that R.
they put him in the straightest great shirt.
Said please rating board. Look, look, look. He's not gay in this one. Please look at RuPaul. Look at the shirt he's got on. He's fine now. He stopped all that stuff. He stopped putting on the dresses.
Something I found really nice about the movie, that I had the sensation while watching the movie, was about an LGBTQ relationship from the perspective of being a straight.
Oh yeah, should we tell them? Should we out ourselves?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're straight. I'm bi. I'm bisexual.
Something I found very interesting about the movie was the sensation that it gave me, the feeling that it gave me about sexuality, in that it is this very, like, an LGBTQ relationship or a connection is very humanistic. It's very personal. It is not in a straight relationship. It is diametric. It is
Opposites filling needs.
precisely, yeah. That's kind of the context that surrounds being straight. Even if, as you, even as you feel like psychologically, as you feel connected to another person in a straight relationship, as you zoom out, your relationship is in the overview of being biologically advantageous and being a social norm. There's something very beautiful about not having a particular form or perspective that sexuality relies on, which I think is very kind of beautiful about LGBTQ relationships. That it is about connection between humans, not about
It's not a checklist.
right.
Which is very much so what this movie is portraying as a homosexual relationship. It's someone does one thing, the other person does the other thing, and that's what you're meant to be together for. To have babies, to keep the house, to go to work, like the nuclear family, the classic view of it. And then a homosexual relationship, like, does away by nature with all of those things. Like, you can't have biological children most of the time in a LGBT relationship. So you're not getting together to have the kid like just heterosexuals do. Both of you can have a job. You don't have to stay at home. And then it's another reason, like not to like another straight reason to be together that the LGBT side doesn't experience. You're being with someone for the basic fundamental reason of wanting to be with them. There's no there's no checklist to be defined for the relationship. There's nothing like there's not a series of things you have to do. You just have to be together.
I think that's beautiful.
It is
I
beautiful.
I think that's something that being straight, there is always those contexts are always preceded by the relationship. Those you are always under that umbrella of the context of the heteronormative idea and the capitalistic machine that wants you to be in a relationship, that prerequisite
Yeah.
of love.
One thing I really liked about this movie was how little the characters understood why how they felt was bad. Especially Megan, our main character, is like, what I don't understand. Like, there's kind of this disconnect where they don't understand why liking the same sex is what's the problem. I can't understand it. I just I was living my life doing nothing to anybody, and suddenly what I'm thinking and doing is wrong. And I like that a lot about how they weren't crying, no, no, please, I'm not that way, I'm not that way. It was more so like, what's the issue? Why are you upset with me? Why can't I? Why can't this be the way it is? Like, the truth is just so it's so simple to them, and it just seems so complicated for everybody else.
And the people trying to construct them under that,
They're taking these painstakingly like great lengths to do so.
but they never explain why.
Well, they say like God and the family and the kids, but they can't come up with a good foundational reason. It's just hatred. It's confusion and ignorance. Like the falsehood that Mary promises is fake. Her fake plastic fucking trees, her fake plastic flowers, her fake 1950s aesthetic home. All of it's fake. They're actually not. There's nothing behind what they're offering. You shouldn't be gay because you actually have to go out and want that. But what that is a lie. And so there's that one scene when Megan eventually she's kicked out of the camp and she goes to the rival camp with who is it, Lloyd and Lenny, and she sees them get into an argument
At the dinner table.
at the dinner table. They get into an argument at the dinner table, but they don't start screaming and yelling. They don't start getting upset at each other. They just they come up to each other. They say, "I love you," and they say, like, all right, we'll figure it out. I'm sorry, I just wanted this. And the other one goes, I'm sorry, I just wanted this. Like, there's such a quick compromise and reconciliation, and it's so mundane. It's so pedantic, but it's the only, like, that's an immediate example of what pursuing a homosexual relationship could be like for Megan, where almost immediately you witness like compromise and communication and love and all this, and it's very simple. It's a very quiet moment, but when you've seen the rest of what she's offered from the other end, it's a lot more powerful.
To piggyback off of that, in that moment, she realizes what she really wants. She no longer is on the fence trying to live up to her parents' expectations or who she's no longer, but I'm a cheerleader. She's Megan. She's who she wants to be, who she feels she is.
Yeah, she recognizes and gives power to her being gay.
And what a nice way to end the movie. Should we spoil it?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
When she shows up, almost like a big wedding ceremony. Like it feels like that, where everyone's sitting on two aisles and down the row, sitting on two sides of the aisle.
What's interesting in that one is that the children who are going up and completing their graduation, essentially being the couple getting married in the ceremony of marriage, it's the audience that's wearing all white, and they're the ones wearing color.
What do you think that's mean? What do you think that means?
Purity? I don't know. There's something there. The audience, well, because I guess those are the actual Christian pure ones, quote unquote, using pure very deliberately there, the pure ones. And then these gay teens who are just kind of lying to get out of it, they're the ones actually wearing even any color at all. They're the Christian ones. They're the ones who are focused on this because the white is for purity. So the ones who are untainted by this sin of being gay.
And Megan shows up right at the end, and Mary's sitting at the altar giving her speech. And Megan stands up and she does a cheer in her cheer outfit for Graham, confessing her love in front of everyone about how she feels.
Cute moment.
And Mary starts to scold her and she runs away. She runs away into the truck, and Graham runs after her, and they get in the back of the pickup truck and they kiss, and then the credits roll. And did you catch the little scene at the end?
Oh, with her father as he's in like the support group for parents of gay children.
Yeah.
I think what was the point of including that at the very end? Because Ma- Mary tells Megan, right, that her parents have abandoned her. They didn't come. They don't. She gets kicked out of the camp. They don't come get her. She says you're going to be left to your own devices, and that's why she goes to the rival camp, is because she doesn't have anywhere else to go. So why her father then, after abandoning her, goes to a support group? What do you think that's for? What do you think that's for? It's like yeah, yeah,
It's like family of Alcoholics Anonymous.
yeah, Al-Anon.
Al-Anon. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Why does he go there? What is that? If he abandons her and then he goes to seek therapy for dealing with the fact that she's gay, I think it's disgusting. I think it's really disgusting.
But they have a beautiful moment at the end. They run away together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Our two characters, they have a beautiful moment. Her father is a piece of shit.
Well, all the adults are pieces of shit.
Yeah, anyone who would go and send your kid off to do this is a piece of shit.
That's a lesson. Never grow up. Never be an adult. You'll be a piece of shit.
And what did you think of the root scene when they talk about the roots?
Oh, we didn't talk about that. I thought that was really weird. I thought that was it was trying to create a justification for the behavior.
Yeah, so they essentially like they're all sitting around in group therapy and they're trying to come up with their root, like the root cause of them being gay. And our main character, all the root, like again, like this movie is fundamentally equating homophobia and misogyny. They're saying they go hands in hand. Where Megan comes up with her root cause, and it's when she says her father lost his job, and then the mother had to start providing for the family, and then that must be where she started to feel these feelings, like the imbalance of the gender role.
It's trying to give strength to the psychological justification that it comes from somewhere, in that it can be unlearned or unconditioned,
Yeah.
which is disgusting.
Yeah. I agree. And I get, and you know what? I just want to say, like, all right, I've been itching to say this, and I'm gonna say it, and I'm gonna open it up with, I hate when people make something about themselves that's not. All right, and like, yeah, like I'm gay, I'm bisexual, I like men, and you've known me since I've been 12 years old, and I didn't come out until I was what, 23. This movie, I love that it's so funny. I love that it's so happy. I love that it's so, what it is, because living with that denial and that pain and knowing all the people around you don't want you to be what you are, it is this constant turmoil and confusion and fear. So it's nice that this movie was so fun about it. And I think a lot of people should watch this movie. I think that this is a movie has a lot of good for you to see.
For a good laugh.
For a good laugh, for a good confronting. Because look, at the end of the day, what are these kids fucking doing? What are they fucking doing, man? Not doing shit. They're just being gay. And it's so well made. It's such a good movie. It looks great. It's funny. This, like, it has something to say. And it says it so very plainly and simply. I'm very happy we watched it. And I'm upset I'm upset at the idea, like I have to keep saying, thank God this movie wasn't sad. Thank God this movie wasn't sad. Because, like, yeah, a movie about a conversion camp might be a bit fucking sad, man, because those are sad fucking things.
But it made us laugh,
It made us laugh.
and it made us think,
It made us think.
which is all you can really ask from a good movie,
That's all you can ask.
and especially from a Tubi movie.
Especially from a two. Yeah, dude. This is like, this really is. You know what? Yeah, this shows something about Tubi, man. Look at what Tubi has to offer you. It's not just the other movies we were talking about. Look at this. This is different. This is art. This is funny teenage pop art that has a good fundamental message. It has great set design, great costuming, great characters. It has such a strong through line of political outlook.
And that was our big issue last week, is that
Where that movie had nothing to say.
everything was on the surface.
And it made me upset. It made me feel like this movie I wish was longer. I wish I could be there longer. I wish I could interact with these characters longer. I didn't. I wrote all these notes throughout this one in the way that I explained last time, where something happens that makes me go, that room for pause, and it makes me think, right? But when I look at my notes this week, all the notes I take actually just are scenes affirming the themes of the movie. There are so many themes affirming that the focus of LGBT hatred is fear. The focus of it is misogynistic. The nuclear family is misogynistic. Like, that there's like, the- not realizing your own identity is deep down more painful than just accepting it. Like, there's so many moments this movie's definitely made in that way. Is that, like, everything is just affirming its own themes. It's tight. There's no random scene that I don't understand why was in there. When I asked you earlier, why do you think he went to that therapy session? I wasn't asking you because I thought it was an odd creative choice. I was asking you as, like, an inspection of the character. Why would he go there? I was disgusted by him. I was not disgusted by the movie choosing to show us that he was doing that. Because, yeah, that's another example of the selfishness that a parent who would send their child to conversion therapy it has. That is another example of that. Movie is great.
Maybe because he must reconcile with choosing his prejudices over his child. And you need some sort of justification, some.
No, but yeah, yeah, I know. But do you understand? Do you understand what I mean? That's how vividly these characters were presented to me. Is that I'm asking you that kind of question, and I'm not asking you as, like, the creative decision, the creative behind this. What was the decision behind to include that? I'm treating this character with something of weight and substance, and I'm asking you, why would he do that? Right? You understand what I mean? There's a difference fundamentally between this week and last week. I'm taking these characters seriously, and I'm treating them like their actions are serious because the movie's doing that.
Why the character decided to do the thing, not why did the director decide to put that scene in the movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think everything was purposeful. Everything was very succinct. There wasn't a missed beat. The direction, I don't know. I can't speak. It's a big departure last from the last movie that we watched. Uh, it excels in every way that was lacking from the last movie. Big stars, big performances, great messaging,
Yeah.
beautiful soundtrack. I can't say it enough. I love the music. Beautiful soundtrack. I'm gonna add the soundtrack to my playlist now. That's how nice it was. Do we have any other remarks? Anything else we'd like to discuss? Anything we felt like we haven't examined?
I think I've examined all I feel I need to right now.
There will be more that we will think about after the end of this conversation about this movie.
This is a real movie, not the Toxic Avenger.
Not the Toxic Avenger.
Definite fucking to be, dude.
Definite Tubi. I think John Tubi would like this movie. We could watch this movie together with him once he gives us our sponsorship.
Yeah, oh, trust me, dude. We're gonna make him watch a movie with us,
Yeah.
one way or another. John Tubi, look out.
Wait. We didn't talk about the fan mail that I got.
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
I got another
Okay.
piece of fan mail.
You got another piece of fan mail.
Okay, let me run down to the mailbox. All right, here we go. Another piece of fan mail. Oh, it's wet.
Oh
Oh, it's
no.
wet. Oh,
What
it's
is
wet.
what is it wet with?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to. Okay, I'm going to open it.
You got wait, put gloves on.
Dear Adam and Phil, once again, you amaze me with your marvel and candor of another spectacular movie. I loved The Toxic Avenger.
Oh
It's my
really?
favorite movie.
Oh,
It's the first movie I ever watched,
oh,
and I am in love with it.
okay.
This will go down as the best movie. I will recommend it to everyone I know, and I love you guys. I left my special love in this envelope for you too.
Oh.
Love Adam. His name's
Oh.
Adam too.
His name's Adam too.
All right,
So
perfect.
you know why it's his favorite movie?
Because it's his
It's the
first movie.
only one he's ever seen.
It's the only one he's ever seen.
He has nothing to compare it to.
Hopefully, he watches.
You should wash your hands. Yeah, you do. He should definitely watch But I'm a Cheerleader. It'll change his life. If that's the best movie you've ever seen, that one's gonna. But I'm a Cheerleader's gonna knock your
It's just
socks
gonna
off.
blow his mind up. This is gonna blow his socks off.
Holy shit! A movie could be good.
I think he already blew his socks off into the envelope.
Yeah, you should wash your hands and get rid of that thing, man.
You know what? I think I'm gonna hang it on the wall.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it on the fridge.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you once again for joining us at the Tubies. We hope this was as much fun for you as it was for us. Until next week, this is Phil and Adam turning off the TV and going back to doing paint and sip by numbers. From both of us, have a great night.
Bye. We love you. Bye, Craig.
Bye, Craig.